Today on Dr. Phil.
I'm scared to death of my son.
They claim they're terrorized.
You say your daughter's abuse is so bad that you dream about killing her.
By their own children.
Did you threaten to burn her house down?
Yeah. Like this in your face. Mom, listen to me, Mom, listen to me.
Well, I can't understand how in the world they have trouble communicating.
The physical.
Do you manage your mother by intimidation?
No.
I don't believe that, and I don't believe you believe it.
And emotional toll.
I don't know how much better role model I can be.
You're perfect. You're a great role model. And we all can't stand to be around you.
Is it parental abuse?
Dr. Phil, I suffer every type of abuse. Emotional, physical, verbal, mental. The person who's doing this to me just needs to vanish.
Dr. Phil, I need your help so desperately. I am in a very abusive relationship with someone I love very much. He makes my hair stand up on end. I'm in fear all the time.
Please help.
Those two women say they are embarrassed by the abuse they endure day in and day out, from intimidating, in-your-face threats, all the way to hitting, slapping, and being pushed down the stairs. But there is a huge problem for them both. Divorcing their abusers is not an option, because they say the person terrorizing them is not their spouse, but their own adult child. Now, mothers Debbie and Joanne are here, and both say they feel more like battered wives than loving mothers. Now, Debbie, you say your 31-year-old daughter Amy's abuse is so bad that you actually dream about killing her, true?
True. It's a horrible thing to want to feel or say. You're just so desperate to have the abuse stop.
You don't actually want her to die, of course. You just want the pain to stop. You want the conflict to stop.
Yes.
And Joanne, you're worried that your 28-year-old son, Jonathan, could become so angry that he could hurt you, even by accident when he's raging.
Yes, Dr. Phil. He is so outraged sometimes he doesn't know what he's doing. I'm just so scared all the time.
You don't know how to stand up to it. There's a huge difference in size and power, right?
I can't stand up to him. You know, it's just very scary all the time.
Why did you want to be here today?
Because I want to have a loving, normal, healthy relationship with my daughter, and I want to be free from the burdens of the drama that she creates in my life.
But why here? Why now?
I have nowhere else to turn. I'm desperate. I've tried every avenue. This was my last resort.
Why for you? Why do you want to be here? Why now?
This is a last resort for me as well. I'm just so desperate for my son to get help.
Well, the truth is, I wish you would have both come here first instead of last, because maybe we would have saved a lot of time and a lot of trouble. We'll see. Debbie says her daughter Amy makes her life so miserable she wishes she would just vanish. Take a look.
Amy is abusive to me. She's over the top, volatile, calls me everything in the book. You, the word, bitch. Amy is belligerent. She's a spoiled brat. She makes my life miserable. The first time I ever noticed any physical abuse was when Amy was 16. She's shoving and kicking and biting me and pulling my hair and pushing me down my own staircase. I have no idea why I didn't call the police. I guess I'm thinking that she's 16, she's a child. Amy is 15 years older now, and she is worse than ever. The last time Amy was physical with me was about a month ago. She pushed and shoved me into the wall. She kicked me, she pulled my hair. She slapped me. Oh, she slapped me good.
There's days when I'm so overwhelmed and I think horrible thoughts. Sometimes I just wish I could just put a pillow over her head, just make her go away. I just don't want her to live with me this way, and I don't want her to live in this world this way.
Well, Amy actually admits to being cruel and nasty towards her mother, but says that Debbie is far from innocent when it comes to abusive behavior. Let's hear her side.
My mom is mean and nasty and a psycho. She doesn't realize how critical she can be. My mom says that I'm white trash. She definitely thinks that I'm way, way beneath her. My mom tells me I've failed. I'll never be good enough. There's only so many... Never mind.
Whatever, Amy, this is where we come into a roadblock because we just gonna agree to disagree.
When we argue, in her eyes, it is my fault. I'm all to blame. Can't hear you. I know she says I've slapped her, punched her, scratched her, but I've never done any of that. I've only pushed her against the wall to get out of the way and get away from her. She claims I pushed her down the stairs then. I don't remember that. My mom is a pathological liar. When I was 16, my mom found cigarettes in the trunk of my car. She held a knife to my throat, said she would kill me, lit up the cigarette and burned me with it, and wanted to make me smoke the whole pack. She can be a raging bitch.
I sense that you disagree with a lot of what was said there.
Yeah, I do.
But your daughter's here, of course, and you're okay with me bringing her out. We're going to talk to her. We're going to get to the bottom of this, I hope.
Good.
Okay?
I'm looking forward to it.
All right, let's bring Amy out. Amy, Dr. Phil, how are you?
Nice to meet you.
Have a seat. You know, one of the things that I think people would say about me is that I get to it quick. You know, I could see you guys in private practice, and we could sit there, and I could go, yes, and how does that make you feel? And yes, how does that make you feel? And how does it make you feel that she feels that way about the way you feel? You know, we could go through all of this typical model, but that's not what I like to do. I like to get to the point and deal with things efficiently, and that requires something here. It requires you and you to make a threshold decision. And the threshold decision is that you're going to be honest. You're not going to spin it. You're not going to try to cover your ass. You're not going to try to put the best look to this that you possibly can. You're just going to be honest, because I assume you want this to change, right?
It has to.
Why?
Because I'm going to end up in a mental institute if it doesn't.
Are you prepared to be just completely honest here?
Absolutely, completely honest.
Because nobody's perfect in these matters. Are you willing to be honest?
I'm willing to be honest. I know I'm not perfect. I know I've made a lot of mistakes. I'm here to try to figure out what they are and how to move forward.
Did she lie in her tape?
Yeah, I never came at you with a knife.
She said you held a knife to her throat. That is a life-threatening action, and you don't tell me you don't remember. Let's see, did I do that?
No,
that's not lost in the background of your life. If you hold a knife to your child's throat, you don't forget that.
You saw in the video she wants me dead.
Did you threaten to burn her house down?
Yeah. Yeah.
And later...
Mom! Listen to me! Listen to me! Listen to me! Listen to me, Mom! Listen to me!
We were at my store and we were having another discussion about either her being late or her taking money out of my business. And I grabbed her arm as she's trying to leave, and she pushed and shoved me and kicked me, trying to come after me. I threw one of the dog kennels in her way to block her. She went and hit the floor. And at that point, I really didn't even care if she was hurt, because I know that her intention was to hurt me badly.
She said you held a knife to her throat. That is a life-threatening action, and you don't tell me you don't remember. Let's see, did I do that?
No,
that's not lost in the background of your life. If you hold a knife to your child's throat, you don't forget that.
You saw in the video she wants me dead.
No,
that is not a lie.
I don't want you dead, Amy.
Yeah,
I love you. I want the pain to stop.
You want me to vanish.
No,
Dead is good.
I never came at you with a knife or ever put a knife to your throat or anything ever.
Right.
I know I do remember
You
saying, okay, you know what? You want to smoke a cigarette? Smoke the whole pack. Make yourself so sick you'll never smoke again. Well, that didn't work.
But did you burn her with a cigarette?
I don't ever remember burning her with a cigarette. I might, if I did, if she claims I did, it was in pure accident. I never, and I'm totally being honest with you.
But that's not what you said. You said she got a cigarette, she lit it, got it burning hot, and burned you with it.
Burned my shirt with it, yes.
Burned your shirt or burned you?
Well, she was trying to burn me, yeah. I had clothes on.
I probably did burn your shirt. I was probably trying to ruin something because I'm trying to get your attention. But no, I never came at you to hurt you or burn you.
Okay.
This is why I say we're going to have to agree to disagree, because you...
If she can't be honest, this is not going to happen.
Well,
and
let's see
where
you are on the honesty scale here. Do you have any ownership in this situation at all?
Absolutely.
Okay, what? What are you doing that's inappropriate here?
I'm not being the bigger person and refusing to get involved in her.
Well, you're sitting here kind of self-righteously and sanctimoniously. This just won't work. She isn't going to be honest. Let's see if you're going to be honest. Did you threaten to burn her house down?
Yeah. Yeah. I mess with her a lot.
Why would you say that grinning ear to ear? You threatened to burn the woman's house down?
Because there's nothing I can do to her. There's nothing. I cannot get her to listen to me. I can't. She can hurt me and hurt me and hurt me all she wants, and I can do nothing.
Did you threaten to burn her clothes?
Yeah.
Now, you're a guest in her home, right?
Yeah.
You live in her home, under her roof, at her expense. So why do you live in her house?
She invited me. She took me out of my apartment, which I was doing just fine in for 5 years.
But why do you stay? Why did you say yes? Why don't you move out?
Because now I'm in a position where I can't get out yet.
Why?
Because I don't make enough money to move out.
Do you pay any rent? Do you pay utilities?
Rent
do
was
you pay
all
anything?
the utilities. Well, not all of the utilities, but there are utilities in my name. Don't laugh.
Okay.
I'll take them out of my name then. How's that? Okay? Because when I get home, bags are packed, I'm gone.
Amy.
I'm gone. Dead to you.
Amy, I know you think you're dead to me. You're not. I'm here because I want some help. And I want you to understand how you contribute to your own demise and how you affect everybody in the family, not just me.
It's all me. Okay.
Well, actually, it's not. But you said, did you say that she is a psycho raging bitch?
Yep. Because she is. You don't like me.
Amy,
it's plain and simple.
Amy,
that's all
my
it comes.
firstborn. I love you very much. You were the best thing that ever
But I
happened
took
to me.
away your husband. But
Amy, you tend to want
your
because you were the center of attention as a child. You still wanted the spotlight, and you do, even if it's negative attention, you want it.
Are you messing with drugs?
no, I did back in my younger days, 10 years ago.
Are you doing drugs now?
No.
Did you find some crystal meth in her purse recently?
Yep, I did.
How recently?
It was September 9th.
What were you doing with crystal meth in your purse?
Her room, it's a filthy, disgusting mess. She smokes in her room, and I said no smoking. She throws clothes all over the place. Now she brings a cat into the house, poop all over the place. She says, get used to it or off, Mom.
Are you doing drugs now?
No.
Did you find some crystal meth in her purse recently?
Yep.
What were you doing with crystal meth in your purse?
Being stupid.
So you were doing drugs?
For a day. I mean,
For a day.
Whatever.
Yeah, I don't know if you just do crystal meth
but,
for
well,
a day.
because what I used to do was every day.
Okay, but so...
For years.
Okay, you did
So,
it every
to me,
day
that's
for
nothing.
years.
Are you doing drugs now?
No.
Could you pass a drug test right
Yes.
now? If I give you a drug test right now, you can pass it.
Yes.
Because if you were on drugs, that would determine erratic behavior, perhaps, particularly if you're doing them on and off and on and off.
No. My behavior's always been the same. Right? It's always been the same.
Amy,
You've never changed.
Debbie says stealing money straight from her businesses is not okay with you. That's
it's
just
not okay
theft,
with
right?
me.
Then
It's
come
just-
run your own business.
And
or
it's
pay me.
one of many examples that you say you need help with
I
because
do.
you've got some sense of entitlement, according to you. Take a look at this.
I have spent over $100,000 in the last 12 years in support for my daughter and her children, and all I've gotten back is abuse. So she moves in. 3 weeks later, my husband moves out because he didn't want to be around the drama with Amy.
That's ridiculous.
Her room, it's a filthy, disgusting mess. She smokes in her room, and I said no smoking. She throws clothes all over the place. Now she brings a cat into the house, poop all over the place. She says, get used to it or off, Mom. You're just a royal bitch. You're a royal pain in my ass. Stay out of my damn room.
I do a lot around the house. to help out. If I vacuum, I didn't mop. There's always something I didn't do.
I'd come home with a week's worth of dishes laying in the sink.
The other day, she told me she would call the sheriff if the dishes weren't done. It's not even logical. She wants her house to be a model home all the time. I don't know why.
If Amy didn't have kids, she would not be living here. Absolutely not. I don't know where she'd be, on the street, some guy's couch. I don't care.
But you do care.
I do care.
Why do you say you don't care?
You know, because the more I help Amy, it doesn't seem like it helps Amy. And so I have tried to, okay, Mom, when she had her apartment, I paid her electric bill. I bought her groceries. I paid her rent when she was short. Whatever I had to do, I did to help her out. And that didn't work. And I said, you know what, Amy, I can't keep this up. Not that you need it all the time, but, you know, you can make the choice. You can either, you're getting evicted. You can either come into my
Do you demean
house.
her?
Do I demean her?
Yeah. Do you say you're a failure? You're a bad mother? You're worthless? I mean, do you demean her? Do you put her down?
I do think her mothering skills are not great. I know I've told her, your mother, you suck as a mom. You're not here with your children. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. How can you leave dishes in the sink for 3 days, 4 days, 5 days in a row? How can their children be digging through the dirty clothes for something to wear to school?
So I'd say that's a big yes. You do demean her.
Yes.
Okay. Are you not doing your job as a mother?
I'm not her, but my kid, I don't agree with that.
Okay, so you are being a good mother.
Yes.
Okay, you had crystal meth in your purse a month ago. Okay, is that being a good mother?
I suppose not.
Okay, so you could have at least said, well, as far as having drugs in my purse a month ago, no. I would have to give you that one, Dr. Phil, but my kids don't get dressed out of a dirty laundry basket. I don't have a filthy room. Did you go in and spread cat around the room before we videotaped it?
No, I did not.
Then you got a dirty room.
Oh, that was a clean day, though.
My whole life is in one room. Sorry if it's
And I gave you
cluttered.
the second largest room in the house.
Do you really want to heal this relationship?
I don't care about it anymore. She doesn't care about me. She wants me dead. I don't care. I just don't
What do you
care
think
anymore.
I'm here for?
She doesn't care about me. She doesn't love me. She wants to make sure that I know that she's better than me.
No.
Yes.
Amy, I don't want to sit here and
Your
argue.
boyfriend doesn't love you. I know. Your boyfriend doesn't want you anymore. He doesn't want anything to do with you. My credit's better than yours.
Amy, I'm trying to teach
I know.
you
You're
to be
so much better
responsible.
than me.
I don't know how much better role model I can be.
Yeah, I know. You're perfect. You're great. You're a great role model.
And I've been a single parent.
And
I've done it.
And we all can't stand to be around you.
We'll be right back.
Oh, no.
No. I'm done.
Amy.
Done like you. No.
Amy has taken approximately $1,800 out of my business over the last year.
I don't steal. I just take an advance.
I call it theft.
I either pay the money back in tips or it's taken out of my check. It's just that I don't make a whole lot of money and I need to get through till my next paycheck.
On several occasions, she's taken every last dime out of the register, and my employees will come to work and they'll say, Debbie, there's no money. How do you want us to operate today?
I'm interested in why you believe you are entitled to go into your mother's business and just take cash.
I'm not.
Then why did you do it?
Because she made me mad.
Okay, so you decide she said something you don't like, so you are entitled to take her money and go do whatever with it. Okay, and then you say, I don't know why she doesn't respect me. You steal from her. That is not okay.
Yeah, okay.
Is it?
No.
You understand, if you worked for somebody else, they would call the police.
Yep.
And you would be in jail. So you're not entitled to it. You've got to stop that kind of behavior. You're living in her house for free.
Yep, I'm playing her game and it's wrong.
You're living in her house for free. You're working for her. Basically, but for her, you would be in a real tough spot financially and roof-wise for your kids, correct?
Yep.
Okay, and you hate that.
Yep.
So why does hearing that upset you so much that you can barely breathe?
Because she put me in this position. I'm just... Oh, no. No, I'm done.
Amy,
No, I
Amy.
can't. No.
Okay, if
Go
you're
to
going to
hell.
leave, you got to go this way.
Amy. Okay, good.
Okay, yeah, if you're going to leave, you got to go that way. All right, there you go.
How do you hope that?
Okay, look, obviously this isn't working, right? And what she's interested in is being away from you, but she can't. She can't get away from you, right? Because
Right.
she's
She
living
works
in your
with me.
house, you're paying her salary, you're paying a whole lot of other things
Right.
as well.
Right.
So basically, you've got your financial hooks in her, so she can't get away from you.
She feels like she's being controlled. I'm not controlling her.
Well, no, you are controlling her. Whether it's your intention or not, you're controlling her because you pay her, you house her, all of that, and you say you do it because of the grandchildren. You said, but for them, she could just go do whatever she
Right.
wanted to do. First thing you got to do is get her out of your house. Get her out of your house. Get her out of your house.
Oh.
Well, do whatever you have to do. Give her a rent stipend for a period of time. Get her out of your house. Help her find another job. This being inextricably intertwined in each other's lives is not working. It isn't working. You're in each other's way. She resents you for what you do for her.
Right.
You resent her for taking what you give her, and then you criticize her for not doing things the way you would do them. She needs to live on her own. And you need to find something that girl is doing that you can reinforce, that you can praise, that you can say something nice about.
And I have.
Because I got the sneaking suspicion that you are like fingernails on a chalkboard when it comes to criticism.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you've got to start getting some separateness here, and you've got to find her doing some things right, and you've got to let her know that you believe in her.
I do, and I've
It
praised
doesn't
her.
help that you know it. What helps is if she knows it. And listen, perception is reality, and her perception is you are not proud of her. You are not accepting of her. You are not happy with her. There's nothing about her that you think is okay. When you're dealing with your kid,
Right.
it takes 1,000 attaboys to erase one, you're not good enough.
Okay. Okay.
Okay? And you two are going to need some help redefining this. And I will
Right.
get you that help. I will get you somebody that will sit down with the two of you and help you negotiate a new relationship.
Yeah.
The issue here is she's not proud of where she is in her life right now, and she doesn't need you to rub salt in that wound, but boy, you are quick to do it. Now, I want to talk to this other mother that was here.
Right.
And I want you to listen to everything I'm going to say to her.
Okay.
Everything I'm going to say to her will fit in your ear just perfect. So coming up, I'm going to talk to the other mom we met at the top of the show. She says she's scared to death of her 28-year-old son. And when we got parents and children fighting, getting in each other's face physically, something's gone way wrong. That's not the design. That's not my idea of the phenomenal family. We'll be right back.
My son is very scary and intimidating. He gets in my face and he talks down to me.
She chooses to push my buttons, and she expects me to calm down because she's the mom.
Okay, we're back. I had been talking with Amy and Debbie, and then Amy decided she wanted to leave. And by the way, Debbie, she's upstairs, and I'm happy to talk to her if she's got questions, but I don't chase people, and I'm not going to reward that behavior by chasing her, so we are moving on. Now, Joanne says that she truly believes that her son Jonathan needs mental help. Her words, not mine, because of how abusive she says he is towards her. Take a look.
My son is very scary and intimidating. He reprimands me when he speaks to me.
I do get loud with her. When she yells and screams at me, I don't sit back and take it. I yell and scream right back at her.
He gets in my face and he talks down to me.
I was a corrections officer, and she's afraid that I'm going to go off the handle and beat her like I would beat an inmate.
He's Mom, 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 and he jumps up and down, and sometimes he starts crying because he's like so enraged.
She makes me look like the bad guy that she's in fear of me because I'm 6'1", you know, and she's only 5'4".
The saliva in my face, the mouth all like curled up and foam coming out of his mouth, literally.
Let me tell you, that little 5-foot-nothing woman that she is has put me up against the wall plenty of times. She's the one to be feared.
One time, Jonathan got so outraged, he put his hands around my husband's neck and was just choking him.
She chooses to push my buttons, and she expects me to calm down because she's the mom.
I'm afraid he's going to hurt himself or my grandson. I don't know what else to do anymore. I'm beside myself. I can't stand being around him.
So what do you think about that tape as you watch it?
I never say anything to him. I don't even get a chance to speak to him because he's just outraged at me all the time.
How do you feel about your mother?
I love my mom a lot.
Are you unkind to her?
I'm not, to start with, no. When she starts on her tangents about things, I've gotten loud and I've yelled and screamed. Yeah, of course.
Of course? What do you mean, of course?
Well, because she yells and screams at me, so I'll yell and scream back at her.
That's not true, Jonathan. I never get a chance to say anything to you. The other day I called you up before the party and I said to you, Jonathan, please don't tell anybody that Heather is pregnant.
Yeah, why is that?
Because
There's a topic
Jonathan,
in itself.
excuse me,
There's
Jonathan.
a topic in itself.
It wasn't the time or the place to say anything, especially when you were sitting down.
You approve?
Stop talking over me. We were sitting down 2.5 months ago with a different girl at the table for dinner. It wasn't Heather, it was a different girl. September 15th, you went off to Tennessee with another girl.
Mom, I did not go off to Tennessee with
You
another girl.
went another girl, Jonathan. Yes, you did, Jonathan.
So is your issue with me my love life, or is your issue with me my anger issues?
It's everything, Jonathan, everything.
Well, wait.
Or is it my whole life altogether?
Wait a minute. Is this really? And I don't know. Maybe I'm confused. Did you come here because he had one girl at his place one night and somebody else at his? Is that really what you want to spend your time with me talking about?
No, I'm scared to death of my son.
Because here's what I thought we were coming for. You say, and this is a quote from him, Jonathan, you say that you admit I am defiantly mean and nasty to her. I am definitely mean and nasty to her. You say, I am verbally abusive. I scream, leave me the alone. You say, I scream and yell at the top of my voice. I demand that she sit down and listen. If she would just shut up and listen, I wouldn't have to yell and scream and be so intimidating.
I would say, yeah, I said that, but it wasn't in those contexts per se.
Well, what per se context is that?
Well, what it is that she'll say stuff to set me off on purpose, and she'll bring my son involved in things, and she starts one thing, and then she starts talking about it. She says what she has to say, and then when I go to say something, she goes, stop disrespecting me. I'm your mother. Don't talk to me like that.
Okay, what were you just saying here?
It's all the time. It's
you
all
were
the time.
doing this
he gets up, and he's like this in your face. Mom, listen to me, listen to me, listen to me, listen to me, Mom, listen to me.
Is that true?
Listen to me, Mom. No. Takes off, slams the door, takes off with his son. Come on, Dylan. Practically chases his son out the door.
Is that true? Is that a fair characterization?
No.
Listen to me. Listen to me.
I do scream. I take my son out of the house because I don't want to see in the situation. Absolutely. I've had anger issues.
Do you do that?
No, not to that
Where
extent.
is she getting that? Because that's an odd thing to make up.
Listen. Okay. She's dramatizing it. She's making it worse than it is. Okay?
Ask Heather.
Let's leave Heather out of this.
No.
Let's leave your husband out. This is between me and you.
How did you act a couple weeks ago, Jonathan, when I tried to move?
Do you want to bring the whole family up here?
Or do you want? I'm talking about
do you
you
want to speak about your daughter? What she wants to say about things?
Do you want to have, Jonathan? I'm asking you.
Is this between me and you, or
Jonathan,
is this between everybody?
I'm asking you a question about when I was at your house 2 weeks ago. You're not answering why.
Well,
Did
I
you
can't
misbehave?
understand how in the world they have trouble communicating. It seems to me. I just don't even know what to start working on, but I'll take a break and figure it out. Now, Joanne says she's not the only person her son bullies and intimidates. We're going to find out who she thinks is becoming Jonathan's next victim. Be right back.
I don't know what else to do anymore. I'm so scared of what's going to happen to my grandson and to my son. I'm really scared.
She's trying to be the parent. She oversteps her boundaries. She needs to step back and realize she's just a grandma.
Well, that was Joanne, who says she lives in fear that Jonathan's abuse is also directed at her grandson. Now, has Child Protective Services been involved here?
Yes, they have.
And you were
because of her-
restricted to only supervised visitation for 3 months?
I had a mental breakdown caused by issues she did, things that she did.
She did?
Yes.
She drove you?
Yes, she drove
over the
me
edge.
over the edge. Yes, she did. But she involves herself so far in my life, with my son's mom, with my females in my life, with my other family members, that I can't get away from her. Even when I try to push myself away from her, I can't get away from her.
You do strike me as somebody who has anger just kind of seething below the level here.
Yeah.
Because when she starts kind of nagging at you, and you do nag.
No, I don't.
Does she nag you at home?
Do I need to answer the question?
Jonathan.
Yeah. Well, he thinks you nag him at home,
Oh,
and I think maybe my definition of nagging and your definition of nagging may be two different things.
I can't-
But look, here's the question. Do you manage your mother by intimidation?
No.
I don't believe that, and I don't believe you believe it. You said it's the wrong context per se. I don't know what that means. I can look it up. But you said, I am verbally abusive. I tell her to leave me the alone. I do scream and yell at the top of my voice and demand that she sit down and listen. And if she would just sit down and listen, then I wouldn't have to be that way.
Absolutely.
Do you do this with your son?
No.
Do you do it in front of your son?
No. I try not to. I have.
So your son has seen you do this with her?
Yes.
So you're modeling that behavior for him. That's bad, right?
Yes, and I've realized that, and I've tried to overcome that, and I have overcome that, where I don't do it as much as I used to.
Okay, well, I want you to do it none.
Yeah,
and that's why I'm
it's
talking
not
to
a
you about
perfect
it.
world.
Well, of course it's not. And she's not a perfect mother, but you're not a perfect son, so that has a certain symmetry to it.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that you're saying she does these things, which triggers me,
Mm-hmm.
it's a trigger. I don't want to do these things, and I recognize that I shouldn't do it, but I can tell you, Dr. Phil, what the trigger is. When she won't listen and keeps talking over me and I finally just, in fact, you said it, I snap.
Mm-hmm.
I snap on her because she doesn't think of the repercussions of her actions. She pushes my buttons. She knows what to say to get me going, and she does it on purpose. Such things as you're just like your father. Correct?
Absolutely.
Do I get it?
Absolutely.
Tell me if I run a red light here.
No, you got that to the
Okay,
T.
so she knows what your buttons are. She pushes those buttons until you snap, but then you do, and that's y'all's pattern here. Mm-hmm. Do you recognize that there are things that you're doing that might be contributing as triggers to some of his anger? Because see, well, see, here's the thing. When parents say and do things, it has an extra gravity besides somebody else saying and doing it. You know, you want your parents to approve of you. You want them to be proud of you. You want them to accept you. You want them to validate you. And if they get messages to the contrary, it really stings extra bad. So if you start taking his inventory, then that takes on an extra gravity with him. And so there might be some better ways to communicate. Now, you can't tell me that you think y'all's communication pattern is the best it can be.
No, it's not.
And it takes two to communicate, so you have to own your part of that.
Yes.
And that if I could arrange for you to learn some new ways to do that, you would embrace that happily because you said you want him back, and that would help you do that.
Yes.
Okay? I'm done with you for a minute.
Okay.
What the hell are you thinking? There's no theory under which somebody is... Stand up. Stand up. See, here's the problem. Here's the problem. You are a big guy. You are an intimidating guy. And if you are using that physical power to impose your will on someone as small as she is, and you say, oh yeah, she's small, but boy, she can bring hell in a hurry. I get that. But you have an imposing nature here. Just look at the difference. Look her in the eye. Now, I know you've looked at her a lot, but no, look at her in the eye. No, look at him in the eye. Don't stop. Look at him in the eye. I just want you to look at your mom. What would it mean to you if you could bring a lot of joy in her life?
It means a lot to me.
Why? Tell her why.
I'm a good dad, and you and my father taught me how to be that person. And I wish you would just respect me and wish that you would just allow me to be the father of my son.
Tell her what that would mean to you.
If that happened, if you allowed me to make my choices in my life and decisions in my life, things I think would be a lot smoother if you just sat back and be grandmom to my son instead of trying to be the mother and trying to push me and his mother out of the picture all the time. That's the way I feel. Then a lot of these issues wouldn't happen. And I wouldn't get so angry. I wouldn't get so mad.
And how would it feel in here if you knew that she accepted you, supported you, and was proud of you?
Oh, it'd feel great. But she doesn't.
Then tell her, I ask you to give me that.
I ask you to give me your support no matter what decisions I make and what I do. Even if they're the wrong ones, that you stand by me and show me, guide me the right way, but not tell me that I'm doing stuff wrong.
Okay, y'all sit down for a second. Now, why did I not want you to say anything?
You wanted me to listen to him.
I want you to not only listen to him, I want you to kind of weigh it. Sometimes you have to hear what isn't said. Look, it's not easy to be a single dad. It's not easy, and you do make mistakes, and you do get frustrated. And what I want you to know is that there is no time that it is acceptable for you to be abusive to another person. Not your son, not your mother. And if you do it because you can, because you're bigger, you're stronger, you're louder, then that's just being a bully. And your son doesn't need a bully. He needs a soft place to fall with a father that loves him and guides him. Your mother needs for you to conduct yourself in a controlled fashion. And if you can't, because she's pushing buttons, whether she intends to or otherwise, then you need to take yourself out of the situation.
Which I've tried to.
It's unbecoming to you as a man. It's unbecoming to you as a father to impose your will on a woman, impose your will on a child. That's unbecoming. coming to you. That's not that's not the role of the man in the family. You need to be a provider and a protector and a leader and a teacher. Now, I'm not saying that you don't have justifications for irritation, that she may not cross the line and create problems for you. I get that. I really do. But meaning because you have a justification to do it doesn't mean that you have to do it. And I'm calling on you as a man to say, I'm going to resolve that I am going to conduct myself with dignity and respect, even if I don't get it. But you need to resolve that, you know what, if I'm going to be a man, if I'm going to be a father, I need to require more of myself than what I have in the past. And if you do have issues with anger, there are ways to handle that, and I will get you help with that. But I want you to claim a peace in your life and a peace in your interactions and just not be around people who pull your triggers. And if you're around him and they pull the trigger, then you leave. And soon we'll learn. If I don't do that, he stays around and we're joyful. And if I do, he goes away. You know, it's a pretty simple metric here. And I'm going to give you some skills to do that with, where you can elicit from other people what you really wish you were getting instead of what you are getting. There's a way to do that. There truly is. Because you're a very charming guy, and so you can use that to your advantage.
Handsome too, isn't he?
But, pardon me?
He's handsome.
He's pretty easy on the eyes. I mean, I understand there might be a few girls around, as you pointed out to us. And we'll be right back. Well, I want to thank all of my guests today. Look, family is sometimes many-layered, and it's really complex. But it is family, and it's worth that extra effort. More information about all of this, go to drphil.com. Thanks for being here. So long. See you guys.
I walked off the stage because I'm not interested in fighting with my mom. Some of the things that she said, how she wants me dead, wants me to vanish. I can't forgive her for that. From being on the show today, I got the motivation to leave. When I get home, my bags will be packed. I don't see reconciliation a possibility. She needs to take a good look at herself before I'm willing to do that.